some ignorant shit now. I know you call a small talk. Vin, and I don't want to ask you this, but I gotta ask you. I know you might be mad at me after this, but I'm gonna have to ask you. All right, are you guys responsible for bringing the double R Bloods into Newark? I mean, to Essex County, New Jersey? This is the only reason I'm asking you this, because the people want me to ask you this. When I told you that you was coming up here, they said, "Yo, ask him this," and I know the people really want to know this.
Well, I can't explain it, and we are credited for that, good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah. But you got to realize, like, when we came up. So, again, man, Jersey is a very special place.
For sure.
Because they call us the armpit of the 5 boroughs, the armpit of the tri-state area, right?
That's crazy that they call us that.
Hip-hop was born in the 5 boroughs. Us in Jersey, you were never accepted, and you could never rock out, right? Mm-hmm. So for us coming out of the 80s, then again, we had the back door with Flavor Unit. We got accepted in New York, but still we're from Jersey. And even though we blew up, and we blew up so big, it was like, well,
they had to accept
you still not New York.
Right.
You see, and that's why they go so hard with Biggie and Nas and Wu, all that. Even Staten Island, like Staten Island was almost like Jersey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but if you wasn't from those main boroughs, you never got that respect. So once we blew up, y'all East Coast, but you not New York. And then when we going out to the West Coast, Queen Latifah was out there. She was doing Living Single, and and she has a law enforcement background in her family. So Latifah was always protected. You know what I mean? Out there.
Right.
So when she started going out there to the West Coast and then brought us out there, we inherited her family, Shari and them, and there's a lot of Crips out there and Eazy-E and them out there. Like, we connected with the West Coast early.
Right.
So when we started going to the West Coast, we're from Jersey. And it's like we're homeless in hip hop because we're from the East Coast, but we're not New York.
Right.
Then when we go to the West Coast, they're thinking we're East Coast, and they're looking at everybody as New York, and we tell them West Coast, like, no, nigga, we Jersey.
New York.
And we might as well be from here or Alabama compared to New York.
Right.
So in that traveling journey, when we were out there in the West Coast with Latifah's people and us getting to know people, we ran into the Road Dogs, Boobie and Love Child. And at that time, KG, he was developing Rotten Rascals. We had Janae going, and K, was going beyond Naughty by Nature and just starting to produce other acts. So I remember clear as this day, Boob and Love Child ran down on us like, yo, we spit. And they spit for K, they was rocking, and Love Child was the real MC. He was nasty with it, you know what I mean? G-Love. K liked them, and it just so happened they were Bloods, you know what I mean? And they were Blood, Inglewood, California. They grew up with Mac 10 and all of them and all of that. And, even that back then, all the wave was Crips out there.
Everybody
Crips ran everything out there. You know what I'm saying? But K just took a liking to them. Is like, bet, I'm gonna bring y'all out to Jersey and work on y'all. So we had the Road Dogs. And even back then, we had Road Dogs, Cruddy Click, and Rotten Rascals. Those were our sub-crews of who was supposed to be next after Naughty when it came to our rap clique.
Right, got you.
But once Boob and Love got out here and they come to 18th Street, our block, they're like, yo, and we out there hustling, opening, whatever. We cleaned it up. There's still niggas on the block. They're like, yo, and then y'all could just be out here, sit on your porch and no drive-bys and all that. They like, we like, yeah. So it was really a culture clash, right? Mm-hmm. And then when they came out here and they started living out here, all of our little BGs, the gutter rats and all of them, they just hearing the stories, and then, they put it down. That's just their culture. They put it down, and you got to realize for us, me and Kay specifically, we're more on the executive level because we're running Naughty, we're breaking artists, we're running the program.
Clothing lines.
Yeah. And then Tretch, on the other hand, Tretch is always hands-on. He's running with Rotten Rascals, even Soup and us. We had a whole clique. In our hood, we were 18th Street. Soup and them was still clicked right up the hill. Then we had Malik Triplet and them that was the other on 6th Avenue. So we had our whole hood on lock. And then when Boob and Love came here, all of our young BGs just took to that culture, took to that lifestyle. And then what happened was we were from Illtown, East Orange, and then they were from Inglewood, California. So it was the double I, Inglewood to Illtown. And you got to think back then, the East Coast, West Coast beef was going crazy.
Right.
So New York was beefing with LA. We're Jersey. And we're like, us in Jersey, we not trying to hear none of that
And then
shit
Pop
because we
coming out
know.
here with the Outlaws.
Yeah.
With North.
And we know how reckless y'all are. So we figured we're from Jersey. It doesn't matter if you from New York or LA, we forming the fucking double I. And now we're the in-between.
Yeah.
And then when we had the double I, all of that street shit just started going crazy. And then, yeah, that's when government got in it and it became crazy.
So what